So now, would you be interested in how to use the same sort of principle, but during the reframing stage, so that your reframes become like bullets from a gun. Hypno gun is coming for you. Yes? So here we have some reframing questions. Again, these are in your manual, page 40 something or other. Thank you. No, yeah, 40. No, it is actually 40. Page 40 itself. What's on 42? Let me just check. Oh no, 42 is the strategies. That's the other stuff we were talking about. On page 40 if you want it, otherwise you have them right here. Again, notice what's going on here. You're implying meaning with these questions. How did you know that blinking was the best way to go into trance? Who have I picked on yet? Let me just find. Everyone's hiding in the background now. Stacy, how are you doing right now? You are doing great, aren't you? Doing great. How do you know that feeling great is the perfect starting point for going into hypnosis? You did know it's the perfect starting point, did you not? So you did know. And you started feeling great before I even said anything. So something inside you must know what's going on. Do you see how it's beginning? Are you beginning to feel the spindle taking you into Wonderland? You are, aren't you? You really, really are. And you get to enjoy that, don't you? Are you enjoying it now? What else is happening? Your elbows and arms are feeling. Which one's feeling more of that? That's right. They're both feeling it very strongly. So strongly you can't even differentiate, can you? Even though they're different elbows, you can't differentiate. That's how good they feel. Do you see what's happening? Thank you very much. Bring yourself back anytime you want. So, do you see how this is working? It's the same principle of you have over here. We're just now applying it to whatever answer they give you. How do you know that was the exact right way of going into trance? How did you know to do that? Right? You can look at them in amazement and go, how did you know to do that? Do you always do whatever? You heard me use that one already, right? I love that one. Especially when something physical is happening, like hands are there and like this. And they're going, are you in trance, right? I don't know. So do you always have your hands in that position? No. Well, they must know something. Right? So you can tease them a little bit as well, right? Did you know X is a sign of trance? Again, these are variations of the same theme. I wonder what it means. Has anyone ever heard me use that phrase? Sometime, you know, I know it's very rare, just throw it in there kind of rarely, so you might have missed it. You did something and you didn't even know it. You mean you blinked and you didn't even know it? You mean that hand did its thing and you didn't even know it? Okay? What's that setting you up for? A conscious-unconscious dissociation. Your conscious mind is aware of some things and your unconscious mind is doing everything else. It's a perfect example of that. How do you feel about that? This is a lovely question, especially when you have something positive happening, right? For example, can I borrow you a moment again, Stacey, seeing as we were there? How are your elbows doing right now? That's right. They're still feeling it, aren't they? Even though our attention was elsewhere, they knew to continue, didn't they? How did you know to do that? You didn't, did you? But they're still doing it anyway. So something inside you knows. And it really knows, doesn't it? How do you feel about that? I mean, that something inside you knows how to go into trance and have that be the way of doing it. You are excited, aren't you? Excited. Going into trance. That must be a really good feeling. Do you see how that works? You especially. Okay? So how do you feel about that? It becomes like a meta comment, which basically puts more attention on the same thing and adds another layer on top of it. So it's cemented even more fully. Go ahead, Adam.
Yeah, just in the last couple of days,
yeah.
I think you were talking about bringing the conscious and unconscious mind together.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're talking about a dissociation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
We're dissociating enough. Okay, we bring them together in terms of what we're trying to achieve, but in terms of what we're doing in conscious and unconscious dissociation, consider the conscious mind being the place where the critical factor lives. So by dissociating it, we get rid of that for a while, so we can have the unconscious, and then later we'll bring them back together again, but as a new thing, right? So it's only it's a device. It's a good question. It's a device to bypass the critical factor, the thing that's resisting or will prevent the thing from happening in the first place.
okay, and then it comes back together.
You'll absolutely come back together. If you don't put people back together, then that's not a good thing. So do you get the idea of how to do the reframing the questions or statements, right? I like to make them as questions because questions have a little bit more pressure because they feel like they have to respond, and they always give you something good to respond with, the best one of which is eventually you'll get to, I don't know. And what do you say at that point? That's right. You really don't know. You really, really don't know, and yet it's happening. It's happening, and you don't know why. But it seems to be important, because it's continuing on, isn't it? Yes, it is. You have no idea why. Yet. That's where you drop the ball. Yet. Do you get how that works? Everyone? Can we have a microphone back here for Robin? Robin, put your hand up so they can find you. There you go.
Still a bit confused because when you were doing that little induction just now, you were talking about excitement, but your tone was...
That's right. That's exactly what I was doing. And do you know why? Because
No.
I was following the energy that she's coming in with. The word wasn't important.
Okay.
It seems that she can get excited and still have her body feel calm. I'm fine with that. I have no problem with that. If she said, I'm excited, that's very different to, I'm excited.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So you follow all levels of communication, not just the words. It's really important. Okay. Any other questions? Or shall we just dive into an exercise? So I'm going to leave these questions up, or you can use your manual. Page 40 are these questions. Page 37 or something, I think, are the others. Let me just check. Yeah, page 37, you have these questions. Page 40, you have those questions. I'm going to leave these up anyway, so you may as well use these if you want. Before we do that, though, let me just pull you back to this a second. You're going to do the exact same thing again. Exactly the same thing. So it's easy because you've done it. Only you're going to refine it. Go ahead.
One of the things that threw me off was I got him to the state, a really good state.
Mm-hmm.
And when he got there, he closed his eyes, and he was in total trance.
Great.
And I felt it, so I was starting to kind of float. I didn't know what to do with him. So I started asking him questions, you know, how do you feel? And I asked him 2 or 3 questions. I wasn't getting any response. He was just so happy to be there.
It's okay.
So then what I did was I just told him to let those, you know, feelings expand. And
Perfect.
I guess once you get them to that state, I'm not sure what you're supposed to do with them.
Well, that's because we haven't actually done any hypnotherapy yet.
Okay.
Right now, we're just practicing a skill. You're doing good work, but we're not even doing any work. That's all that happens. And I mean, if you want, I can add a little bit on something here to make it a little bit more practical, if that helps you.
Well, yeah, I just don't know where to
Sure.
guide them from the point of, you know, feeling excited.
It's very
good,
simple.
whatever.
When you do H+, you can ask them, what do you want? Right? I want to feel happy. I want to get more hypnotic learnings. I want to really get this pattern. I want to be relaxed. I want to overcome the little pigeon thing that's swirling around my head right now. Whatever. Right? Then you do your thing, knowing that this is the parameter. And somewhere in this point, all your implications, every one of your implications, does no longer go to trance, or maybe beginnings about trance, but now they come about the goal. Give me an example of a kind of goal, a kind of thing that someone might want in this exercise. Confidence, right? So how are you doing right now, by the way? You are pretty good. You're doing pretty good, but you want confidence. How did you know that feeling pretty good helps you get more confidence? Say again? They're comorbid, whatever that word means, but I'm sure you know it. They're comorbid, and you knew that, didn't you? You really did know that. But did you know you were going to feel pretty good? Did you know you were going to feel pretty good? Or did it just happen? both. You mean you can know and it can just happen?
Yes.
I wonder what else you know that will just happen.
I don't know.
About confidence. Because this is about confidence, isn't it?
Yes.
And you are?
Yeah.
You are confident. Did you know it?
I do now.
You do now, don't you? You really, really do. And what's it like? How do you feel about that?
Excellent.
You feel excellent. With the confidence about feeling good, right?
Yes.
Great. Done. It's not rocket science, right? Now you can take it to more downtime trance and do whatever it is, it's fine. The point is, ask them what they want, do your little trancey thing, let them space out, and then whatever effect comes, you link it somehow back to whatever their purpose is here. So your purpose now drives the trance, rather than letting it swirl around with just some generic happy buzzy thing, right? And what you'll, oh, actually I won't tell you what you'll find, you'll probably tell me, because it's probably better that way. Are you guys okay with that? So, find a partner, let's take 10, 20, 10 minutes apiece. I'll give you a 10-minute warning, I'll give you a roll-around warning. But guys, wait a second. I'm going to encourage you, guys, hold on a second, let me just have you focus. Focus, hello, turning, I'm here, look at the shiny thing in the front. Okay, I'm going to encourage you to use the full 10 minutes. So don't just do like 2 minutes and like, I've got it, and then move on. When you get there, really drive it in. Remember the law of compounding effect from day one? Really compound it in. Really compound it in. Do you know how you compound it in? Do you know how to really compound it in? Off you go. First of all, did you enjoy that? Did you notice a significant improvement in your performance as you have more things to focus on, more H+, more ideas in terms of the questions, etc.? Yes? Is the language getting easier? Would you ever have thought you would be capable of this when you first came here, day one, whenever that was ago? And yet here you are doing it. And you really didn't know it's going to happen, did you? And yet here you are doing this all. I wonder what else will happen as a result of what you're doing here. That's right. That is right. And you don't even know what that lot is, do you?